There aren't that many games out there as simple and charming as the original Plants vs Zombies. Overall, super basic game when it comes to mechanics, but not typically the type of thing you'd expect to see ported into Minecraft. I am working on a Minecraft game engine, so to further test what I could make with it, I wanted to give Plants vs Zombies a try. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be. We're coding Plants vs Zombies in Minecraft. As far as projects go on Minecraft, like it or not, visuals carry a massive chunk of how well the project's received. So it's always best to nail that quite early and get a distinctive art style out of the way. Using Axiom, I quickly model out an area for the game to take place. For the scale of the lawn, I decided to go with 2x2 tiles because 1-block tiles just looked really small and weird. I took advantage of connected textures to make these 2x2 tiles. I didn't have time to go too crazy with the house or a hub, so I just made simple builds, then quickly decorated them with some models. There's also this really cool mod I found that adds a ton of chiseled variants of a bunch of blocks in Minecraft, which I think adds an incredible amount of variety to the world. Using Utility's camera system, I went and recreated the camera from the OG game to the best of my abilities. I can cleanly move the camera between these two positions, interpolate and dampen it to make it, move and be smooth and stuff. We also had to get rid of the, player. There is no real player character in Plants vs Zombies, so I just kind of hit him in a corner, disabled all his abilities, and never looked back. In the actual game, the world kind of curves back, and I was experimenting around with some core shaders to try to recreate that, but eventually had to decide against it. For those who are unaware, Sodium is a client-side FPS boosting mod. While it does give you a smoother, more optimized Minecraft experience, it also gets rid of like a ton of Minecraft's code. This means that core shaders don't really work with Sodium. Conveniently, this video is sponsored by a perfect solution to this problem. Let me introduce you to Hone, who generously offered to help fund this video. Hone helps out by being an out-of-client gaming optimizer that improves the performance of Minecraft and pretty much any other game you can think of without removing the source code like Minecraft mods do. With base Hone, my FPS already boosts by 50%, and then with Hone Premium it doubles again. It's used by over 1 million gamers and is literally featured by Epic Games on their store. Not to mention, it's completely free. And of course, there's a paid version which gives you access to more premium features and removes other small things like ads on the Hone app. I know many people are completely unable to play modded Minecraft because of how laggy it can be. So if that sounds like you, or if you've ever really complained about lag in games, there's no reason to not at least check it out. They'll be in the description and the pinned comment, and you can scan the QR code on screen now. Thank you again to Hone for making this possible. So yeah, Plants vs Zombies. It's a pretty UI-based game, so it's important to get that part right. For the first version of this project, we'll use keyboard controls. We have all the UI stuff needed to make mouse controls, but I'm a lazy shit, so... Kai made most of the pixel art for this project, including pretty much all the UI elements, which I then turned into Minecraft UI and anchor on the screen. You can use WASD to move around. Then in the actual game, you can use A and D to select the cards you want from the top left. You can keep going to the right to also select the shovel and menu. You need to unlock the shovel before you can use the shovel, but when you do unlock it, you can use it. The menu just opens the pause screen, which is kinda useless because you can just press escape to make sure you don't mix up the plant with the shovel. When you use the shovel, it glows an evil, dangerous red. Ooh, so scary. There's also some more advanced UI, like in these cutscenes with Crazy Dave. This just combines the camera features and the text box features. And just like that, we have a functioning UI screen. We can finally move on to the plants of Plants vs Zombies. And before that though, I want to take a few seconds to ask you to press subscribe. Please press the subscribe button or consider joining the Discord server. It's a great place to hang out and learn about this stuff. Okay, yeah, I know you want the good stuff. Okay, the plants, there's a lot to talk about here. Every single slot on the field is filled with an empty item display. They all have a row, column, ID, and health assigned to them. By default, the health and ID are 0, meaning the spot is empty. Your selected plant is stored, and when placing it, we're able to track the row and column you have selected when planting, and swap out the model and display entity. We then play a short animation of them being planted with some sound effects and particles, and then set the ID and health for the plant. These are all stored via scoreboards. There are a ton of different plants in the game, but only 8 for the first area, so we'll be focusing on those. We have the sunflower, pea shooter, cherry bomb, walnut, potato mine, snow pea, chomper, and the repeater. All of these models we are getting from Kai's Crops and Corpses mod. Go check out the mod, it's a cool mod. The sunflower is your only sun producer for this first chunk of the game. Around every 24 seconds or so, the sunflower produces a sun. Each one of these suns are worth 25. When it's ready to release some sun, we play a brief animation. It then quickly shoots some sun up into the air before quickly floating back down to the ground. Because we don't have mouse controls in this first beta of the game, you just collect sun by pressing space. Sun also randomly drops from the sky every 10 seconds, which eventually despawns. The next type of plants are shooter plants. These are the pea shooter, the repeater, and the snow pea. The pea shooter is very simple. If there is a zombie in their lane, they will shoot a pea at it. This has a 1.5 second recharge. In this, the pea is just a snowball, which Minecraft lets you easily swap the model out of. The repeater is the pea shooter, but it shoots 2 times instead of 1. The snow pea is a little more complicated though. It is like the pea shooter, but it also applies a snow effect to the zombie. This slows them down alongside their animations and their attacks. It also tints them blue and gives them some particles. The next plant is the chomper. This Little House of Horrors reject is a bit more unique than the other plants. If a zombie gets in front of it, it will chomp down, instantly killing the zombie, but it then has to take its time while eating it before it can attack again. We don't see it in this map, but for zombies with a super high amount of health, it takes multiple chomps to take them down. Then we have our 2 exploding plants. First up, we have the cherry bomb. This is an instant plant that explodes, killing all zombies in a 3x3 area. We also have the potato mine, which is a super cheap alternative, but only kills in a 1x1 area and takes some time to charge before it explodes. Last up, we have the walnut. This is actually the most advanced plant here. Its default function is essentially a stall plant. It has no features. It just has a bunch of health and sits there getting eaten. His sprite will also get more damage the lower health he has, but he really starts to shine when he goes into offense mode. You will see this in the bowling minigames, which can happen throughout the game. Instead of staying still, he now rolls down the lane like a bowling ball. After hitting a zombie, he'll then either roll up or down and can hit even more zombies as he goes. But it doesn't stop there. He also has a red version, which is basically just a cherry bomb. It'll roll into a zombie, killing all zombies in a 3x3 radius instantly. These bowling and final levels also have some fire music, which I'd love to play. However, for some reason, YouTube hates happiness. We've had epic NoteBlock covers made of these tracks, and they sound crazy good, so if you want to hear them, they will be up on NoteBlockMatt's channel, because I guess he's fine with the copyright, I guess. Next up are the zombies. There are 5 different types of zombies. There's the regular zombie, the flag zombie, the conehead zombie, the buckethead zombie, and the pole vaulting zombie. These guys will spawn in and slowly go across their lanes. When getting hit, they take damage. As they take damage, their gear and limbs will slowly start to pop off. They then fall and die. Quick thank you to Mr. Minerman for helping out with the zombie animations. When reaching a plant, they will slowly start eating them. And if they reach the end of a lane with a lawnmower, the lawnmower will then clear the lane. The pole vaulting zombie is a little more advanced. It starts off by jogging instead of walking like the other zombies. They're very fast, and they have the ability to jump over the first plant it touches. The flag zombie right now is just exactly the same as the regular zombie, but with a flag. I'd love to make this guy more customizable like in the base game, just haven't really had the time or resources to do that yet. I actually don't know how I'd do that yet. As for the levels, most of them follow the same structure. You're given some time to plant your defenses before the zombies come in. A progress bar then appears in the bottom right. This will slowly fill up as you deal damage to the zombies. In the actual game, it uses these seeds to spawn in zombies, but after hours of researching, I couldn't really figure out how it worked, so I ended up just playing a ton of rounds in the actual game and grabbing a bunch of zombie layouts, which I saved onto this Google Doc. If there's like a crazy Plants vs Zombies data miner watching this video, please reach out. I would love some help figuring this out, and I'd love to make it more accurate. Levels 5 and 10 are different from the others in the sense that they are conveyor levels. Sun is disabled during these levels and your plants are handed to you. Similarly, there's also these tutorial levels which care less about gameplay and more just teaching you mechanics. There's still some with gameplay like the opening levels, but then there's the start of the bowling level which just gives you no zombies and you have to shovel up these plants. For a level select, I made a quick menu which served as an area to open up and choose which level you wanted to play. I also reworked the main menu of Minecraft to be Plants vs Zombies themed. I also put a credits page here for everyone who worked on the project. Good job, guys. I actually made this project about 2 months ago, but simply haven't had the time to get it up until now. Main reason is because of some game-breaking bugs inside the engine which needed to get fixed despite the Plants vs Zombies project itself actually being done. But that technically means this project is like crazy out of date, and there's a lot you can do in 2 months. So if I wanted to revisit this in a part 2, I could actually add so much more stuff. Aside from the rest of the worlds, of course, I could also add the minigames, puzzles, and garden. And if it gets 30k likes, I will come back and do the rest of the game, all that stuff. If you want to download it, the download is in the description. Feel free to make videos or playing on it, just make sure to credit and link back to this video. So yeah, if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. And of course, thank you to Hone for making this project possible. Goodbye forever.